Taking the wrong supplements are not only a waste of time and money and energy, but they can also be detrimental to your health, to your Lyme disease case. They could make matters worse if you're taking the wrong supplements. So what supplements should we take? What should we look out for? What's dangerous and can affect our body negatively? And what should we try to find and look for when we're looking for high quality supplements specifically for Lyme disease, chronic illness, and infections that go beyond just your regular everyday cold and flu? We're talking about chronic illness, right? The aches and the pains and the chronic fatigue, the headaches, the joint pain that tends to last a really long time, especially if you have chronic Lyme disease or post-treatment Lyme disease syndrome, as the CDC calls it. So my name is Ryan Kearns, and in 2024, I helped 2,331 people fight against Lyme disease, and a lot of them are winning the war with Lyme. So that's absolutely amazing. I couldn't be more proud of those people. And it's all because I personally had Lyme disease. I struggled with it. I found it really difficult, really annoying, really costly, just took way too much of my time, energy, money, focus. And I knew that I had to help other people out, right? Once I was able to make it through that very difficult part of my life, I knew that I wanted to put my effort into helping others who were in that same situation, because I feel like I didn't have enough help, support, or guidance along the path. I feel like I didn't have the right tools. The very simple things that could be provided to me were not provided to me by regular healthcare professionals, by any companies, or by any people, and I knew I needed to be that person for other people that came after me. So that's why I created LymeWars.com, where you can get the best help and nutrition advice as well as herbs for your Lyme disease case. So how do you select high quality supplements? Well, the first thing is you want your supplements to be third-party tested. Third-party tested means that there's an outside company that came in, looked at the herbs, tested them for potency and purity to make sure that there's no extra added ingredients that aren't supposed to be there. You know, they've done tests on supplements before and found things like illegal drugs inside the supplements that can help get the person the desired effect. Now imagine you're taking something in order to, gain muscle, like a protein powder, and the next thing you know, you're taking steroids. That's just an example of what I'm talking about here. But the supplement industry is absolutely laden with things like this happening all the time. And so we want to make sure that our stuff is third-party tested. Lyme Wars herbs are 100% third-party tested. We make sure that they're the purest ingredients, free of heavy metals, free of GMOs, free of anything that could be harmful for anybody's body, especially because these are people that already have a compromised immune system. These are already compromised people. We cannot go adding more insult to injury. We cannot add more problems on top of the problems that people are already facing. I also third-party test these so that I can take them myself and so that I can give them to my children. Whenever my kids get sick and they come home from school inevitably in the fall time and they say, my friend was sick today, I say, start taking these herbs immediately. They start taking them, and this year my kids have not been sick at all, which has been amazing. Last year was a little bit tougher, but I think using the herbs consistently in order to avoid viruses and bacteria is a great way to just push things in your favor. Make sure that you're getting your antibacterial, anti-inflammatory compounds from plants. We can't really get them in our diet like we used to. We can, but it's just not the same levels as they used to be as far as antioxidants and micronutrients in our food. So we have to fill in those gaps. Somehow that's where herbs can come into play and help us do that. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, still, how to select high quality herbs. The second thing you want to look at is the ingredients. There shouldn't be any unnecessary ingredients or things that you don't know what they are inside of the herb capsules or inside of a tincture or anything like that, because these ingredients are going into your body, right? So just like we should read the packaging on food labels, we should read the ingredients in our supplements as well to make sure that they make sense and that they're in line with what we expect to be taking and putting into our body. If we don't know what something is, we should research it and make sure it's safe and healthy for our specific body, and then make our decisions based on that. And then finally, the third thing you want to look at is actually something controversial that I'm going to bring up. And not everybody agrees with me, but I believe you should care about the number of ingredients inside your supplements. Now, the reason for this is because when there's many ingredients in a supplement, they're more likely putting it through a mixing process. Now, this mixing process can be an area for concern. It can be a place where that's where they're mixing in the illegal drugs, even on accident, right? They use these giant drums to mix herbs and different supplements together, and they often reuse them or use them for different things and use them over time, right? And they have many different clients that they're serving, these manufacturing companies. So they could mix together multiple ingredients in there on accident or just from cross-contamination. And the supplement industry is not very regulated at all. So these problems tend to happen on a regular basis all the time. And it's kind of sad. It's not a very good look, but that's why it's important to look at the number of ingredients, because the second thing to realize is also they're mixing all these ingredients together, and then they're using math to say how many milligrams of each ingredient you're getting in a capsule. But the reality is they're mixed together in a giant drum and then poured into capsules. So how on earth do they know the actual number of milligrams of each of these ingredients when they're mixed together in that way, right? They're basically using math, and that's great. That makes sense. And they are mixing them together. So it's hopefully the idea is they're mixed throughout so that it's a very even number of each thing in each capsule, which in theory makes sense. However, in reality, we all know that that's not really how things work. When you mix it together, there will be clumps over here of this thing, this certain herb or plant or supplement or compound, whatever it is. There could be clumps in different areas. It's not going to just mix up perfectly 100% of the time. And even if it does, you're definitely diluting the amount of each thing that you're getting rather than getting the purest, most potent form of that specific thing, right? And this is something that I learned from herbalists over the years, and that's that you should really take one herb at a time, and you can mix them together after taking them alone at first. But it's important to take them one herb at a time so you can adjust, so you know which herb is actually helping your body and which herbs are just a waste of time, energy, and money, or which ones are giving you the biggest bang for your buck, so to speak. So that's why it's important to look at the number of ingredients in your herbs. And so many people miss this, and a lot of people disagree with this, but unfortunately, the more I think about it, the more I just see how important it is to get single ingredient things, right? When we're talking about the healthiest possible food, we're talking about food that grows from the ground, right? An apple, an orange, right? These are one ingredient things. They're just a thing that exists in nature. That's the same idea when we're taking herbs or supplements. We want to be taking the thing that's closest to the actual supplement in its real form so that we can ingest that. Our body tends to know what to do with these different things. When the DNA of a plant is in our body, it tends to change. It actually has a changing effect on our DNA, and it produces different compounds based on the fact that it's a whole plant, that our body knows what to do with it, right? It's a very simple breakdown process. It can use all of the nutrients that are in there. They're very bioavailable because it is just coded in our DNA how to process these things, right? Because they've been around for so long. Most herbs and plants that we use for supplements have been around for thousands and thousands of years in the real world. It's just we take them and make them easier to ingest, ideally. But the bad news is the supplement industry has gotten out of control to the point where, there's just problems with different, inconsistencies, mislabeling, and then contamination. Those three things are the biggest problems in the supplement industry. And if there's no third-party testing happening, if you're not paying attention to the ingredients, and if you're not caring about the number of ingredients in your herbs or in your supplements at all, then that is where the problem lies. We want to make sure that we're looking for those three things to make sure that our supplements are not sketchy. And the truth is, most supplements are sketchy. Most supplements are not to be trusted, in my opinion. And I've been in the health space for over a decade now, and it's not gotten much better since I started. It just keeps getting more and more products added to the mix, and it's not getting easier to tell the best from the worst when it comes to supplements. But that's just what we're dealing with right now. That's how it is. Hopefully there will be more companies like Lyme-Wars that come along and say, okay, this isn't right. Let's do our best. Let's create third-party testing. Let's create the one ingredient supplements, and let's make sure that we're continually testing and have a very high quality standard so that everybody can use these supplements safely and have no ill effects whatsoever. That way it's a win-win-win across the board for everybody. So why are these companies doing it wrong is the question. So the first thing is too many ingredients, which we already talked about. The second thing, not enough potency in these ingredients, right? When you're taking the single herb, you're able to take more of it, but also it's in the purest form. It's only that plant that you're swallowing. Your body knows what to do with that, and your body tends to react positively, which is why we have hundreds of such great reviews on our site that you can check out at lymewars.com if you want to. So then finally, there's just low trust for these companies, and with good reason. How can we trust that all of these companies are doing the right things every step of the way when the supply chain is so long, and when these companies have been known to cut corners and do things to make sure that they increase their profitability? That's where I would rather focus on quality standards and high quality and have to charge more for the product even, and all of these things that make my life harder. They make it harder for everybody, but I would rather do that and have a high quality product that everybody can trust than have something that is just low value, low trust, and isn't the highest quality version of what we could possibly get for people with Lyme disease. And so that is hopefully reflected in the Lyme-Wars Herbs products when you get them, because we care a lot about each and every person that uses Lyme-Wars Herbs, and we put a lot of work and time and money and energy into making sure that they're safe, making sure that they're third-party tested, and making sure that they're the simplest ingredients and the highest quality ingredients. So all of that being said, my top supplements I'm going to list out really quick. Stick with me here. First, the top 3 herbs are Polygonum cuspidatum, Andrographis paniculata, and Uncaria tomentosa. I'm saying the Latin terms not to be confusing, but to be very specific. There's different types of each of these herbs, and the Latin terms make it so we know exactly which one we're talking about. Now, you can get those 3 herbs delivered right to your door this month only. It is going to be the special grandfather price where you can get it cheaper than any other day after this. So in January 1st, the price has to go up so that we can continue, staying in business, helping as many people as possible. So take advantage while it's 2024. You can get grandfathered in at the lowest possible price. Okay, I'm done with that. Now, the one extra herb that I would add in for people that want to go above and beyond and really take a lot of action and try to fight back against Lyme disease, and especially if you're struggling with very sincere and hard, difficult symptoms and you want to get rid of them immediately, I would also probably add in the herb called Scutellaria bicalensis. Now, this is not in the Lyme-Wars herb box yet. We don't have it as part of our products yet, but it's one to look out for. It's called Chinese skullcap, Scutellaria bicalensis. It's a great herb to add in. And you can still get better without that herb. It's just that if you want to really get all of the herbs that are going to maximize your potential for improving, then you would go with that one. And I'm just mentioning it because many people ask, okay, let's say you could add one more herb to the mix. What would it be? And that's the answer. It's Scutellaria bicalensis. Chinese skullcap. So the 4 foundational supplements that you would add on top of the herbs, and this is for the general population just to be healthy. And we're going to talk about this because, look, we're all different, right? There's certain supplements that would help your body that would not help my body because of the different issues that you're facing. For example, maybe you have leaky gut syndrome and your gut is not doing well, whereas for me, I have blood sugar issues and I need to, focus on blood sugar. So these different challenges and things in our health that we need to focus on make it so that there's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to supplements. That being said, there's 4 foundational supplements that the most people take in the general population as well as people with chronic illness, and we've seen them help people get better with Lyme disease. And the reason is because they take the 3 herbs, they're doing all right. Then they add in these 4 foundational supplements and things really kick up a notch. They start to see a lot of improvement. And it could be from any one of these supplements, or it could just be the combination of everything that they're doing and all of the focus and effort that we put into helping our clients is a game changer, because when you're not the only one focused on your health, amazing things start to happen and you have to do less work, spend less time, have more of a chance that it's going to work well the first time, and it'll be less difficult for you. So that's really the goal. But the 4 foundational supplements that the most people have good results with are omega-3s from fish oil or from algae oil or from shellfish, whatever works best for you, especially if you have allergies. You'll know the answer to that. The second one is a whole vitamin, right? Just a regular, plain old whole vitamin for men if you're a man, for women if you're a woman. Vitamin D3 and magnesium. That's in no particular order whatsoever. They're just the 4 foundational supplements that really tend to help the body, right? Magnesium, we have so much evidence that we need a ton of it. It's involved in over 300 different chemical processes in our body. It's really beneficial to have a lot of magnesium in our life, and it helps us relax, rest, and repair. It helps us with creating hormones. It helps with a lot of different things that we need to happen. Omega-3s really help reduce inflammation. They help with repairing and rebuilding, and they help our brain a lot, right? DHA and EPA are very, very beneficial compounds found in omega-3s that our brain thrive on. A whole vitamin is to make sure there's no micronutrient deficiencies in our diet, and vitamin D is to make sure that we have vitamin D, especially if you live in an area where there's not a lot of sun or you're not getting a half hour of sun every single day. You should probably just supplement with some vitamin D just to make sure that you have the right levels. It can help with a lot of different things, especially if you're feeling like depressed or bipolar or you have these mental issues from Lyme disease. A lot of times vitamin D can be a complete game changer for your mental state. That's a lot of times, not for everybody, but for some people, it's very beneficial. So those are the 4 foundational supplements. Hopefully that's helpful for some of you and you wrote that down and you can go get those supplements. Or if you work with us, we will help you get those supplements so you don't even have to lift a finger. If that sounds good to you, stick around, hit the subscribe button, hang out around here because things are going to heat up quickly, especially January 6th to the 10th when we do our Stop Lyme Challenge. You have to show up if you're serious about taking back your body, feeling like yourself again, and having the healthiest year of your life. In 2025, you have to show up January 6th right here. So hit the subscribe button, show up on that day. And look, what does all of this do, right? So you're here. It's the 4th of 5 videos that I've been doing over the past 5 days. Now, tomorrow is day 5, and I'm going to share with you some very interesting things because I know what you're thinking. You might have gone through all these videos with me all this time, spent all this time listening to me talk, and I really, really appreciate your time and attention. It means the world to me. But you're wondering now, okay, what does all of this stuff cost, right? How is this going to affect my bottom line? How is this going to affect my pockets? That's probably what you're wondering. And you might be thinking something like, Okay, but how hard is this for me to do? Is this something that I can actually do myself? Is this potentially something that I can, work on every single day in 2025 and get better and better? Or is this something where I need help? You're also probably wondering, how long does it take, right? How much time do I have to put into my health in order to start getting results, in order to start seeing the progress? And will this actually work for me? Is probably another question that rings in your mind when you're looking at everything we've been talking about over the past 3 days. Is a holistic wellness method the right method for me? Is it going to work? Do herbs work for me? Will it work for my specific case? And if you're wondering those questions, I'm going to help you answer them tomorrow in day 5. So just show up for day 5 tomorrow. Usually I've been doing this around 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in that range, Eastern Standard Time. So if you're around for that, that'd be great. If not, you can always catch the replay. Just make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you'll always see when we upload a video. Hit the notification bell if you'd like to. That'll help as well. You'll get notified when we upload a video. And if you have any questions, comment below or go to help@LymeDiseaseWars.com. Hopefully this clears up a little bit more about your supplement regimen and what you should be looking for when you're looking for supplements, as well as which supplements to take and why. Okay, so remember, you can get your Lyme Wars herbs if you need herbs at LymeWars.com or LymeDiseaseWars.com. Either one is fine. And right now is your last chance until January 1st. The price has to go up, unfortunately. So go ahead, get involved now while the price is as low as it'll ever be. And I can't wait to work with you. We will help you with everything you need. You even get some free master classes and some free extra goodies in your herb box when you sign up. And I can't wait to meet you, hear about your Lyme case, and get started helping you take back your body and feel like yourself again, now and in 2025. Let's do this together. I'm here for you. Again, my name is Ryan Kearns, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.